Welcome to Voice of Arthur. Tonight's story will take you deep into the shadows of an ordinary British town where one man discovers something truly horrifying, something that was never meant to be seen. So, sit back, turn off the lights, and listen closely, because this one might just make you question what's real and what's not. It was a cold, wet evening in Manchester. The kind of night where the rain doesn't pour, it whispers. It slides down your window, slow and soft, like the world is trying to hush itself. Arthur, a quiet man in his 40s, sat in his small security office. He worked the night shift at an old warehouse that used to be part of the railway system. Most nights were the same, long, dull, and uneventful. Arthur liked it that way. He wasn't the type to look for trouble. He just wanted to earn his pay, drink his tea, and get home before dawn. But that night, things changed. At around 1:30, the CCTV screens flickered for a second. Just a small glitch. It wasn't unusual. The system was old, after all. But when the screens came back, something felt off. On camera 3, the one showing the back entrance, Arthur noticed a shape. It was faint, almost like mist. He leaned closer, adjusted his glasses. The figure seemed to move, not walking, not running, just gliding. Arthur frowned. Probably condensation, he muttered, but deep down his stomach turned cold. He reached for the intercom and spoke to the guard stationed outside. "Hey, Sam, you near the back gate?" No answer. He tried again. Nothing. All he could hear through the static was a low crackling sound, like whispering. Arthur checked the monitors again. The figure was still there, only now it was closer. He blinked, rubbed his eyes, and for a split second, it was gone. The screen showed only the wet ground and the faint reflection of a flickering street light. Arthur exhaled. "All right. Just tired, that's all," he said quietly. He poured himself another cup of lukewarm tea, sat down and tried to focus on his paperwork. But after a few minutes, the flicker came again. This time on camera 6, the corridor inside the warehouse. Arthur leaned in. The same misty figure appeared again, moving slowly towards the office. His heart started to thump. "No," he whispered. "That's not possible." He switched through every camera, one by one, and then he saw it. The figure now standing in the hallway, right outside his office door. Arthur froze. He could feel his breath getting heavier. The air around him seemed colder, so cold that his breath became visible. He wanted to move, to run, but his hands wouldn't respond. The only sound in the room was the hum of the CCTV monitors and the slow creak of the office door handle. Arthur's eyes widened. He stared at the door, unable to look away. The handle turned slightly. Click. The door opened an inch. Arthur's heart stopped. He turned towards the camera feed again, and what he saw made his blood run cold. The figure wasn't on the screen anymore, because it was standing right behind him. To be continued. Welcome back to Voice of Arthur. If you're still here after part 1, then you must have felt the chill. Tonight we pick up right where we left off, in that dark, silent security office, where Arthur just realized the figure wasn't on the CCTV screen anymore, because it was standing right behind him. Arthur didn't move. He could feel something behind him, the weight of presence. The air felt heavy, thick, like the atmosphere had frozen around him. He turned his head just slightly. Nothing. The room was empty. He let out a shaky laugh. "Get a grip, Arthur," he muttered. "You're scaring yourself." But his voice trembled. The door was half open. He didn't remember leaving it like that. He reached out and gently pushed it shut, locking it this time. Then he turned back to the monitors. Every camera was static now, white noise and gray lines. He tapped the keyboard, switched channels, adjusted the cables. Nothing worked. And then, from the corner of the room, a small, distant sound. Tap, tap, tap. Arthur froze again. It came from the window behind him. He turned slowly. Raindrops slid down the glass, but the sound didn't match the rhythm of the rain. It was sharper, like nails tapping against the glass. He stood and stepped closer. His reflection stared back at him, pale, wide-eyed, tired. And then, just for a second, another reflection appeared beside his own. A face, faint, gray, watching him. Arthur stumbled backwards, tripping over the chair. He blinked. The reflection was gone. He grabbed the torch from his desk and pointed it at the window. Nothing but rain and fog. He turned back to his screens, and one of them flickered on again. Camera 3, the back entrance. This time the image was clear. A woman stood there. She was drenched, her long black hair stuck to her face. She wore an old-fashioned dress, torn and soaked with rain. Her head tilted to one side, too far to be human, and her eyes, dark, hollow, stared straight into the camera. Arthur's heart thundered in his chest. He whispered, "What? What do you want?" The woman on the screen didn't move. She just stood there, watching. Then the sound came again. Tap, tap, tap. But this time it wasn't the window. It was the office door. Arthur stepped back, clutching the torch tightly. "Sam," he shouted, "if this is you, mate, stop messing about." Silence. He reached for the intercom again, pressing the button. "Control, this is Site B. I need assistance at the warehouse immediately." Static. Then a faint whisper came through, low and broken. "Why, did you, lock the door?" Arthur froze. He looked at the intercom speaker. He didn't press the talk button, but the voice came through again. "Arthur." He dropped the intercom. It hit the desk with a loud clatter. The monitors began to flicker again, all of them now showing the same image. That same drenched woman, standing closer. Each camera showed her from a different angle. Arthur's pulse pounded in his ears. He could barely breathe. He looked around the room. He needed to get out. Now. He grabbed his coat, his keys, and headed for the back exit. But when he reached the door, the handle was ice cold. He turned it. Nothing. Locked. He stepped back. Then he saw the CCTV screen once more. The woman wasn't there anymore. Instead, the camera now showed the office. His office. Arthur looked closer. The image was live. He was in the frame. And right behind him, the woman. He turned around instantly. The office was empty. He could hear his own breath, fast, uneven, desperate. Then the lights flickered. The temperature dropped. His torch began to dim. Arthur whispered, "Please leave me alone." A whisper echoed back, "You saw me. Now you can't forget me." The monitors went black, and in that darkness Arthur heard soft footsteps, moving closer.